Also going to be completely repacking my pack to figure that out. Oh boy.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm Grimm.
I'm Ole Grizz.
And I'm Violet.
And as you can tell, it's a little dusky. It's a little dark. Well, you know, that happens because a disaster, a bug out situation, may not happen at, you know, that perfect hour of time. So it's always good to go out when, well, when it's dark. Got Violet with us again, and I think she's a little bit happier this time.
There's no snow. There's no snow, and it is warmer now than it ever was the previous times.
Probably combined.
I'm in a t-shirt, and I am so excited that I'm in a t-shirt.
But it's time for Violet to spread her wings a little bit. So not all only go heading out in a little darker, but we're not staying in one place. We're introducing Violet to bugging out on the move. And as you know, Ole Grizz and I have done this a few times, so let's see how Violet does on this bug out adventure. So join us.
What you doing?
Well, I found this really great stick here with this really fibrous bark, and by taking my blade and scraping it perpendicular flat like this, I'm actually, as you can see, stripping it and making some very, very fuzzy, possibly tinder material. And then I will then take this and then I will process it with my own hands. Go baby go. This in. Yahoo! Feather sticks for the win. And fire. Nice and bright. And see, it looks like Ole Grizz and Violet got themselves some oatmeals, and then over here we're trying out one of the 24-hour MREs, which, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. But I'll get back to that later, because now it is conflicted card time. And the card reads as such. You see a large mob breaking into your neighbor's house. You know he is there with his wife and children. You have about 24 rounds of ammo, roughly one for each mob member. You are the only person capable of defending your own family. The mob passed your house and didn't notice you at all. Would you step out of the shadows and risk your own life to help your neighbor, or would you stay safe and protect your own family, and why? So, who wants to go first? Or should I go first?
You can go first.
I go first time? Okay. I think I would take that time. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate for my neighbor. but I think I would take that time to maybe make some, like maybe get my own family out of the way. I mean, I know they passed my house, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be, you know, not coming back to you. So maybe while they're looting and ransacking that house, I can get my family and some necessary provisions to safety. And then if I decide to like come back and be a hero, maybe not. The reason why I wouldn't help the neighbors because this is survival and the numbers are not in my favor. Again, 1 bullet per mob member, not that good of a shot, don't know what their weapons are like. Take that time of them being distracted to get your own family and yourself and your supplies to safety. That's what I would do. So Ole Grizz next.
Alright. The same thing that Grimm said. I would not step out of the shadows. I would not confront them. I would watch and see what happens. I would try to make sure that my family had the opportunity to be safe in case that mob turned. I would watch once I had that done, I would watch very carefully. And if my neighbor put up a fight, in other words, just didn't roll over, I would then calculate what I could do to assist him, if at all possible.
Okay.
Again, the same reason as Grimm. It is survival. There is nobody else going to come, so I'd watch and observe. But again, my responsibility is to my family, and that's where I would focus my attention the most.
All right. Okay. And then get the light on you. Sorry, no, I'm buying it in violet. There you go.
No, I wouldn't even. It wouldn't be a thought.
Not even a thought.
Not even a thought. If you've got that small amount of ammunition, and then you've got, I mean, from my perspective, I've got my own stuff going on. So, you know, I've got my own family, I've got my own small human. So, like, no, I'm not going to draw attention because then I have to figure out how to move with small human.
Right.
And that's complicated. So, no.
Okay. Well, that's what Violet thinks, and that's what Ole Grizz thinks. Now, we want to know what you think. So, leave your response in the comment section down below, and if you like these conflicted cards, there will be a link in the description to click the sponsored link, so you can get your own deck, and there's lots of decks, and we love them. So let's hear from you.
It's getting pretty late. About midnight or so.
We started late, we hiked late, we ate late, and that happens sometimes.
So we're gonna give this a shot and see if I'm not in the dark, which would be new. So happy it's warm.
Hiking in the dark. That was interesting.
Definitely was very glad that I had headlamps. All of us had headlamps. They are invaluable.
I had fun the other times, but I'm just actually like able to be relaxed and not cold, and that's a huge game changer.
Tomorrow's a new day, and especially for Violet, because it's going to be the first bug out that we are going to keep going.
Well, I'm going to sign off and see if I can get a few winks in before we have to break camp and move on.
So I'm tired, it's really late, so I'm ready to go to bed. So good night.
Talking to you later.
Good night. Day 2. And the rain has let up momentarily.
Good morning. So I'm playing a game called Things I Don't Want to Get Wet. And it's starting to slow down, which is telling me I should probably do something with my tent.
No time to waste. Time to pack up.
Trying to decide if I want to pack the inside of my tent separate from the outside of my tent. So I'm playing that game. I'm also going to be completely repacking my pack. Oh boy.
We left no trace. I mean, it's kind of already established, but it doesn't look like we have. with Ole Grizz. And Grimm is adjusting my pack.
Yep. Because it's just not quite sitting on you just right. But the most important thing, I'm excited is I get to use my multi-tool to make this happen. Which, I love this multi-tool. The very few times that I've gotten to use it, carving a spoon for Ole Grizz and now fixing a pack with it. And I can say I really enjoy it. But if you want to know my full review of the SOG multi-tool, check out the link. It's going to be popping up in the corner. And while you do that, I'm going to fix Violet's pack. We're on the move. So how was it, Violet, to kind of just get up and just get a little something in your stomach and immediately just kind of pack up and know that you're not going home yet?
I'm okay with that.
You okay?
Yeah. I was more focused on thinking about how I wanted to pack up to not have stuff be wet for later.
Oh, yep, definitely.
Because I didn't know if it was going to continue to rain or not.
Yeah, and as you can see, well, at least I believe myself and Violet, nope, Ole Grizz never wears a rain jacket. We have our rain jackets on just in case.
I did have like an instinct this morning where I wanted to grab my phone and be like, I'll check the weather and see when this is done. And I was like, I can't do that.
Nope, no signal.
No signal.
No signal whatsoever. Which, we're actually, I mean, we're far, but we're not too far away from civilization. It doesn't take you too far to go into the wilderness for you to lose signal. Take that in consideration when you decide to bug out or go on a hike or a camping trip, that just because there's cell towers everywhere doesn't mean you have signal. And look what we found. This is wintergreen, so I've had it before, but let's see how Violet likes it.
Pretty good.
What are you doing, the berry first?
Yeah, it's sweeter.
Yeah, the berry is sweeter.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Nice fresh breath now
Tastes
for
like
Violet.
wintergreen. I should have saved it for after my tuna.
Jeez. And that's how our subscriptions just go. Whoa.
That's not true.
No. Anyway, I always eat the leaf first.
The leaf's pretty. If you do the berry and the leaf together.
Yeah.
Yep. Much better. So good. Nice little snack nibble. You can just pick it up on the trail and pop it in your mouth, and you have fresh breath. Well, Violet's getting a lot of water. I'm going to be getting a lot of water. Ole Grizz has already gotten a lot of water because we know that next camp is going to be up on the ridge. And this is most likely going to be the last water source that we see until we come off of that ridge. So when you're traversing or on the move, you're going to want to plan ahead. So even though it's going to be quite weighty, you're going to want all that water. All right. Well, I can definitely say that our packs are heavier, probably at least 10 pounds heavier for each of us, because gathering all the water to be on top of the ridgeline, which we made it. But how is everybody feeling?
I'm gassed, man. See my glasses?
I'm fine.
I can't see.
Violet's fine. Ole Grizz is tired. I'm feeling pretty good, but this all goes into staying in shape. Even if you're Ole Grizz back there.
68 plus.
68 plus. So see? Never too old to start learning how to survive and bug out. But I know staying in shape is pretty self-explanatory, but if you want to understand more what I mean by that, check out the links going to be popping up for the bot, Staying in Shape. Camp is set up. Nice little spot we got here. Ole Grizz is working on his pipe. And Violet is practicing once again how to make some fire. So let's see how she does. Moment of truth for... Ooh. Get it everywhere.
Good job.
Good. Then take these little sticks right here, feed it, love it.
Gentle.
Right there, right there. You still got
Excellent.
it. Still got it. Well, I'm gonna give you some room. Let you work. Alright, well, we're eating now, and I still got the remnants of my 24-hour MRE from XMRE. And been trying to be diligent. I did cheat a little bit. I did have a few cheese curds from oatmeal snacks, but there's still a lot of food in here, so it's dinner time. But I am really excited because I want to see how Ole Grizz and Violet do with their first time using an MRE. And you got the
Blue line.
The blue line.
6.
And Violet, which one do you have from the XMRE line?
1300 XT.
Okay, so yeah, 1300. So I think it's 1300 calories or something like that. So let's see how I do. So this is, you know, because you've had the oatmeals.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But you haven't had an MRE yet. So.
No MREs.
I'm trying to understand directions. There's so many packages.
One thing I'll say about the
Still working out.
24-hour MRE, which I love because it's got so many calories in it. I don't have the big bag to tell me right now. I think it's 22, 23. But it's a big bag, and it's got a bunch of little bags in it. And the little bags are not separated into like meals. Like some things are in other pouches. So can make it a little confusing.
I guess I could use this one. So we do the fill line before we put the heater in, is that right?
No, I put the heater in, and I put the entree in, typically, and then I do the fill line.
I have a theory, and this could prove it to be completely wrong. Because last night my oatmeal took so long to finally decide to heat up, and I feel like I put in the same amount of water that I just did now. So I wonder if I fluff up the packet. Because you got a sleeve. I didn't.
Well,
get
you're
a sleeve.
cooking. You're cooking already.
Yeah. I like to believe that my fluffing theory works well.
That's cooking, baby!
Ah. There it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Grizz is using the pocket billows. And if you notice, he doesn't have to get nearly as close. Actually, let me see it on this side. And I don't even have to get out of my seat.
Feed me, Seymour.
There it goes. Look at it. That actually is the pocket billows, and if you want to know how to make your own, check out the link for the Pioneer Prep pocket billows. It's a nice little tool. Just stick it in your pocket, and once you got your fire going, kick it back up again. Or I've also seen some people when they're working on their Tinder bundle, they'll hold it and they can direct that stream of air right in there. Nice little tool.
All these things to choose from. Forgot all about my bread.
Well, that is the one nice thing about MREs. Like, they just have just a bunch of fun stuff. It's not just like one big thing. That all being said, first MRE experience.
I get it. I mean, I get it.
I wouldn't have wanted to do it at 11 o'clock at night.
No. No.
But in the light.
In the light.
Where you can read all the directions.
Where I can read all the directions. I also...
And still not follow them, but read them.
I had a tricky time. It takes up more room than anything I've ever brought.
Mm-hmm.
All 2 times prior. So I think if it took up less space...
Well, there is a
There is
video for that.
a video
There is a Pioneer Prep for that.
So, it was the second night. I really don't mind picking up and moving camp as much as I thought I would.
But it's a good day. Good long hiking day. A lot of good trail. Enjoyed it.
My feet are a little angry at me. It's kind of windy.
We're up on a ridge and the wind's blowing, but not too bad.
It's a little bit cooler, but we are all prepared. I mean, that's why you have layers.
But again, I'm just really finding this a lot more relaxing than any of the other trips that we've been on, mostly because it's not so freaking cold. And I love that.
Let's be honest, more than likely it's going to take more than a day to get to your bug out location, so this is what it takes. This is what it's like.
Well, hopefully we'll have a great night, good sleep, and a nice long hike out.
I am looking forward to tomorrow and finishing this bug out adventure. Good night.
Bye now.
Good night.
Day 3. Ole Grizz is up and about. I can hear Violet rustling. Must have been a good night. Wind died down. It was just so quiet. And it looks like we're going to have a nice day to pack on up and get back on the trail. And we're off. Wrapped up the campsite. Left no trace. Well, except for the big old fire pits that were already there. But we are on our way out. And we have quite a bit of distance to cover. So we'll see how that affects us. See if our water holds out that we collected. That's going to be very important.
There'll be water at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Once we get off this ridge, there'll be water. But until then, no water. Still on the move. Making our way back.
Still.
Still.
And I'm actually pretty curious on how Violet feels about this. Because she's going out, obviously in the cold, twice, and stayed in one spot, but this time, you know, packing up, moving, setting up camp, to rinse and repeat. How are you feeling about it?
I feel fine with the packing up and moving in my mind.
In your mind?
In my mind. I think my back and hips are better since we've adjusted my pack.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I did some serious bruising. So that's kind of uncomfortable, and I don't think I would be experiencing that if we weren't getting back up and putting the pack back on and walking.
Yeah, you'd have some time to rest. I mean, if you stayed in one spot, your body would be able to recoup. But this is also the most miles that you've done, isn't it?
This is. I have some injuries from life. They aren't hurting me, which I expected them to, which is pretty nice. I have learned from a girly perspective, don't get a pedicure right before doing this.
Oh, so many new things that so many
All
new
you bug
things
out
that you
boys,
learn
don't get a pedicure
on
before you
Bug
come
Out
out.
Boys TV because now we have a girl coming out with us.
Pretty much. I ended up having to wrap my feet, like tending to some hot spots, but they feel fine now too.
Well, that's good. You did preventive measures and you
Yeah.
knew how to do that, so
I did.
Good first aid knowledge. Ole Grizz, how are you feeling? It's the first time you've done a on the move in a while.
Oh, I like on the moves. It's the hiking gives reason for the day. Not that I don't like sitting in one spot. That's kind of nice too. Of course, you could combine a trail where you did on the move, but then spend a day. You know, you can do all kinds of stuff.
Well, something to consider.
Great.
Well, something to consider for a future bug out episode. Though, him just sitting around the campsite, if I made him actually make fire without using his stove, he'd have to do a bit more, I think.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be as bored. So maybe the next time I get Ole Grizz to come out, maybe he can't bring his stove, or at least he can't use it.
I don't think so.
Well, we have many more miles to go, but luckily, it's all downhill. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this bug out episode. Hope we were able to show you adapting to the environment, whether it was setting up in the dark, taking down in the rain, dealing with wet equipment, ups and downs. Violet?
I definitely am grateful we adjusted my pack. I think
Yep.
I'm still going to mess with it when we get home.
Yep. But you did very well.
Yeah. It's much better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, like, on the move, you know,
Yeah,
putting
that
some
was
miles
fine.
down. Really, I think that's, like, really helps
Yeah.
sit the pack in. Ole Grizz?
Hiking at night, it can be interesting and fun, especially if you got a headlamp. And
Yes.
headlamps are great, but the trail at night needs to be relatively nice. And fortunately for us, we didn't know, but fortunately for us, to our first camp it was. If we'd have pushed on to the second camp, it would have been a very not happy environment.
So I guess you say night hiking, rather be cautious.
Yes.
Yes.
Rather to be prudent, or, yes, prudent is the right word,
Yes.
than to overextend yourself.
Exactly.
I agree.
All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time.